Welcome to Peace Church. Today, when I first set up all my equipment, got everything all ready, and I wasn't too sure about, should I film today? I don't know. The rain came. First a few droplets. I started putting things inside, and then it got kind of heavy. So I'm sitting inside, looking at the rain, thinking about my discouraged project. And then the rain stops. And a friend of mine comes up to me and says, well, you can either listen to the voice that's discouraged about how your project got interrupted, or you could look out and see that the rain stopped and go try it again. So here we are. Welcome to Peace Church. Sometimes our projects don't go as planned. You probably had some events you were looking forward to that are no longer possible because of our new situation, because of social distancing and events and places being closed. So I want to light a candle for all the projects that didn't go quite as planned. May we find the light in all of our situations.
This is a reading from the book Meeting the Shadow, The Hidden Power of the Dark Side of Human Nature. And this is Chapter 1, The Long Bag We Drag Behind Us by Robert Bly. It's an old Gnostic tradition that we don't invent things, we just remember. The Europeans I know of who remember the dark side best are Robert Louis Stevenson, Joseph Conrad, and Carl Jung. I'll call up a few of their ideas and add a few thoughts of my own. Let's talk about the personal shadow first. When we were 1 or 2 years old, we had what we might visualize as a 360-degree personality. Energy radiated out from all parts of our body and all parts of our psyche. A child running is a living globe of energy. We had a ball of energy, all right. But one day we noticed that our parents didn't like certain parts of that ball. They said things like, "Can't you be still?" Or, "It isn't nice to try and kill your brother." Behind us, we have an invisible bag, and the part of us our parents don't like, we, to keep our parents' love, put in the bag. By the time we go to school, our bag is quite large. Then our teachers have their say. "Good children don't get angry over such little things." So we take our anger and put it in the bag. By the time my brother and I were 12 in Madison, Minnesota, we were known as the Nice Bly Boys. Our bags were already a mile long. Then we do a lot of bag stuffing in high school. This time it's no longer the evil grown-ups that pressure us, but people our own age. So the students' paranoia about grown-ups can be misplaced. I lied all through high school automatically to try to be more like the basketball players. Any part of myself that was a little slow went into the bag. My sons are going through the process now. I watched my daughters, who were older, experience it. I noticed with dismay how much they put into the bag, but there was nothing their mother or I could do about it. Often my daughters seemed to make their decision on the issue of fashion and collective ideas of beauty, and they suffered as much damage from other girls as they did from men. So I maintain that out of a round globe of energy, the 20-year-old ends up with a slice. We'll imagine a man who has a thin slice left. The rest is in the bag. And we'll imagine that he meets a woman. Let's say they are both 24. She has a thin, elegant slice left. They join each other in a ceremony, and this union of two slices is called marriage. Even together, the two do not make up one person. Marriage, when the bag is large, entails loneliness during the honeymoon for that very reason. Of course we all lie about it. "How's your honeymoon?" "Wonderful. How's yours?" Different cultures fill the bag with different contents. In Christian culture, sexuality usually goes into the bag. With it goes much spontaneity. Marie-Louise von Franz warns us, on the other hand, not to sentimentalize primitive cultures by assuming that they have no bag at all. She says, in effect, that they have a different, but sometimes even larger bag. They may put individuality into the bag, or inventiveness. What anthropologists know as participation mystique, or a mysterious communal mind, sounds lovely, but it can mean that tribal members all know exactly the same thing and no one knows anything else. It's possible that bags for all human beings are about the same size. We spend our life until we're 20 deciding what parts of ourselves to put into the bag, and we spend the rest of our lives trying to get them out again. Sometimes retrieving them feels impossible, as if the bag were sealed. Suppose the bag remains sealed. What happens then? A great 19th century story has an idea about that. One night, Robert Louis Stevenson woke up and told his wife a bit of a dream he'd just had. She urged him to write it down. He did, and it became Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. The nice side of the personality becomes, in our idealistic culture, nicer and nicer. The Western man may be a liberal doctor, for example, always thinking about the good of others. Morally and ethically, he is wonderful. But the substance in the bag takes on a personality of its own. It can't be ignored. The story says that the substance locked in the bag appears one day somewhere else in the city. The substance in the bag feels angry, and when you see it, it is shaped like an ape and moves like an ape. The story says, then, that when we put a part of ourselves in the bag, it regresses. It de-evolves towards barbarism. Suppose a young man seals a bag at 20 and then waits 15 or 20 years before he opens it up again. What will he find? Sadly, the sexuality, the wildness, the impulsiveness, the anger, the freedom he put in have all regressed. They are not only primitive in mood, they are hostile to the person who opens the bag. The man who opens his bag at 45, or the woman who opens her bag, rightly feels fear. She glances up and sees the shadow of an ape passing along the alley wall. Anyone seeing that would be frightened.
It's important to feel feelings, including maybe especially the negative ones. But no, we should feel the negative and positive, because each one contains its own richness. The sadness of loss, if not felt, sits down deep in the gut and works away like a poison. Or it gets stuffed down into our subconscious mind. And then instead of working through this feeling and then healing and being able to feel hope or love another day, instead it gets toxic, and we carry around this bag behind us, as writer Robert Bly would describe it. A bag of all the unfelt emotions and the repressed aspects of ourselves, things we didn't feel ready to face. Which is why the coronavirus and the general societal response or shift because of that provides us an amazing time where we can open up our bag, where we can dig into our subconscious mind and pull up all the mush and turn it into compost that we might enrich our mental, emotional, and spiritual soil. Today's meditation and reading will be about this. Close your eyes. Where are you? How long have you been here? Do you remember your earliest memory of this place? Do you remember the emotions associated with it? Do you feel pleasant
unpleasant, a mixture. When you hear a thought that makes you feel uncomfortable, who is thinking that thought? And who is feeling uncomfortable? Is there something you've been putting off, neglecting? Allow that to sit with you. There might be a deeper reason than the thing itself. I want you to imagine a bright white light starting as a pinpoint in the center of your forehead, even in the center of the top half of your skull. Now imagine an entry point in the top of your head where a beam infinitesimally thin of white light is piercing your skull and going straight down the center of your body. The beam is burrowing and digging down through your skull, down past your eyes, past your nose, and your spine is straightening as it goes. Because the light, while it digs, is also a thread pulling you up towards the sky. The light is digging deeper down into your throat now. Do you feel that warmth, that blue, almost a rosy blue? Oh. It travels deeper, down past your shoulders as your shoulders relax. Travels down into your chest. Breathe a deep breath and feel a green swirling of rich, nutritional energy. Your rib cage, your heart, these are all sources of joy and also grief and sorrow. And we cannot truly have one without the other. Open up your chest as you breathe and feel all of the colors. The white light travels deeper, starting to grow thicker, 1 pixel at a time. It travels down through your intestines, travels straight down into your solar plexus. Well, it's passed through your solar plexus, down into your stomach, the gut. Your food is digested. This is where energy transforms. If you feel blocked here, consider what kind of movements and changes you can make in your movements in your body, changes in your space, changes in what energy you give your body. The white light travels down further into the base of your spine. There's a dark, deep red energy, the will to survive, the fear when you panic. Some of the deepest forces
of the animal side of your human nature reside here. The light feeds off of this energy and goes deeper, down into the soil of the earth beneath your feet. And it travels deeper. Keep your eyes closed and watch the beam traveling through the tip of your skull, down through your body, down into the earth, down below the earth's crust, deeper and deeper and deeper, straight into the center of the earth itself, where it illuminates into a globe. Now feel a globe of energy starting at that spot in the center of your forehead, and watch it expand into a little beadlet, into a bubble, into a sphere. It grows bigger. It's now encapsulating your head. Breathe into this energy. Let your breath fuel its growth. This sphere grows outward, above your head, downwards, encapsulating more and more of your upper body, your lower body. Grow your sphere wider now. Your whole body is inside some of the earth, some of the room or outside in which you are seated. Now continue to grow this globe bigger. Can it encapsulate your whole house or the park, your whole neighborhood? Think of all the other people, the other energy sources, living beings who are part of your globe. Grow it as wide as you can, and we're going to come back and open our eyes. So one last big breath and push. And now let it dissolve, though it is still there. Let your visualization come back to where you are, here and now. We all have a shadow. We all have a light. You cannot have one without the other. You may feel fear, grief, pain, joy, hope, all of these things, perhaps in rapid succession. So I encourage you, when the energy grows to a place where you feel uncomfortable, investigate, what is truly making me uncomfortable? Is it something from the past I have not dealt with? Something I need to take out of my bag and bring to the light, that I may dissolve it with light, with fire, into a compost that can enrich our soil. Blessings on your day, your week. Go now in peace. Until next time, Peace Church.
I believe in life and love and people. I believe in the rising of the sun. I believe the world will be much better. I believe the universe is one. I believe in life and love and people. I believe in the rising of the sun. I believe the world will be much better.